is up, YouTube? Sean the Average Angler here, and today we are going to talk about something very near and dear to my heart. It's kind of sneaky. Maybe not often thought about. And I kind of found out about this, learned this kind of by mistake, honestly. It was something I had the head rigged up, and I was looking for a little bigger bait. And man, it turned out to be a great one. I'm going to kind of call this power finesse, maybe, if that makes any sense. It's really kind of combining finesse, presentation, with a little bit bigger bait than maybe what it was originally designed to be fished with. Now, this technique catches, this is the great thing, it catches them all. Little ones to big ones. Doesn't discriminate. Sometimes better than others. And what that is it's a Ned Head, but this is about the bait, and this is a Pro Shrooms 1/10 ounce, okay? It has a heavy-duty 2/0 hook. Now, it's not heavy-duty to where you're going to go throwing this into heavy cover or anything like that, but it's pretty heavy, okay? I will go up to 14-pound test with this. I'm not telling you need to. Different kind of situations dictate different things. But it's really about the bait you're putting on it. And I've got a few here, okay? First of all, we'll cover Z-Man, because this is a Z-Man head. This is a Zinker Z. So essentially, it's like a 5-inch Senko. But they have the Big TRD, I believe. But I tend to like something a little thinner, per se. This is a Robo. It's the big Robo Ned bait. Again, it's a fatter bait. So it's a good bulky presentation. There you can see it's pretty fat. You know, it's a big worm. It's not a small one. It's not a 10-inch worm. And the action is actually better on the bigger ones than it is the smaller ones. Now we'll get to two of my favorites for this. Okay. First is going to be the X-Zone True Center Stick. This is a 5-inch True Center Stick. And the Ned Zone is a little bit thinner than a Senko, but it's also not full of as much salt. And the reason I like the 5s is if you want a little shorter, then you just pinch off the head and you go a little shorter, right? See that? Just push my fingernail into it and we took 1 inch off. And I don't really know why this works so great. I just think it's the presence factor, right? And it's a little different way of fishing the bait than just on a shaky head. Or, I mean, with the weight of the bait and the head, I actually kind of will tell people I'm fishing a shaky head, because you're kind of fishing it like a shaky head. The other bait I really like for this is the Yum Dinger, okay? Yum Dinger comes in 4 and 5 inch. These are really inexpensive. I think they're $2.99 a pack. They have some great colors. They're pretty tough. They last longer than a Senko does. And so does the True Center Stick by X-Zone. X-Zone also has some great colors. I really like. This is green pumpkin with purple flake. Probably works for all of us, right? Every lake across the country, green pumpkin with purple flake. Why wouldn't it work? And if you watch my videos, you know I love green pumpkin purple. I love green pumpkin blue. Something about it just has always been good for me. Now, you can fish this technique because there's plenty of weight with that 1/10 ounce weight, and any kind of these baits are going to give you enough weight to cast well. I will go up. This is a Powell 703. It says medium heavy, extra fast action, 8 to 15 pound test. Okay. Some rods it might be a medium, some it might be a medium heavy. It's really just about being able to fill the bait without moving it too much, which a lot of times if you get too heavy of a rod, you'll move the bait too much because you're trying to feel it and it's just not there. I also have this Daiwa. It's a bait casting, 7 foot medium is what this is. It's their 7 foot finesse bait caster. You'll see right now I have the free rig on. This is also a great rod for this technique. And on this rod, I would go 10 to 12 pound test. This is, you can go heavier, and if you're around bigger fish and structure and stuff, you don't want to get pulled into dock pilings, could be reeds, could be brush, then you might want to step it up. I wouldn't go heavier than say 14, and even 14 with that hook. I wouldn't boat flip a 5, 6, 7 pounder. Not saying it wouldn't handle it. It's a pretty strong hook, but it is finesse. It is a smaller hook, and better off lipping them or netting it. On the spinning reel side, when I dip down into my 8 pound test, maybe even 10, but I want the feel. This is a 7'4". This is a Daiwa Tatula Elite. It's called the Versatile. It's kind of a designed by Cody Meyer. It's kind of a do-all spinning rod. You can do a lot of things with it. I think it's a little long and heavy for me for drop shotting, shaky heads. I have a couple other rods I prefer for that, but for this technique, where I have the weight of the head and the bait, and it's a pretty decent weight. Here, actually, let me move this, and we'll weigh it just to see what it weighs. Three ounces. I don't know if I think it's 0.3. Well, yeah, that says ounces. I'm venturing it meant a 1/4 ounce. Maybe a little bit more than a 1/4 ounce. Probably about sounds right for that. Okay. It casts pretty well. Casts really well, actually. And I just cast it out. Typically like it in rocky areas. Sand could be okay too, but typically I'm looking for some rock. Not necessarily big rock. Softball, gravel size stuff. Typical areas that bass like to hang out around the spawn. Docks, throw it up under docks, and then just kind of work it out. And you got to figure out how they want it. Sometimes they want it hopped and drop, hop and drop. Sometimes they just want it just slid along the bottom, just slowly. But this is a great way to pick up some bigger fish that other people might be missing. Now, when you compare this to a regular Ned bait, and this is another X Zone. This is their 3-inch Ned Zone, they call it. It's a 3-inch bait. So you see the comparison there. Although it's not huge, it is substantial. And sometimes it just takes a little more presence, and I believe a lot of times it takes a little more presence. When they really want the little bait, hey, these are great. But there's a lot of times where I think it just takes a little bit more presence to get their attention. It's a great rod to have if you're, especially if you're backboater, you're bank fishing. This thing comes through stuff really well, even with an open hook. I mean, I wouldn't throw it in brush and grass, but it comes through rock and that kind of stuff fairly well. Okay, there's a lot of bulk there for a small head. It's pretty easy to pop it out. Give this one a try next time you're out in the water and you're kind of struggling to get a bite. Give that a try. And that head is key, okay? I've messed around with a lot of it, and there may be some other off-brand, smaller brands, but that's the Pro Shrooms. And this one has the 2/0 heavy-duty hook. Make sure you get the right hook, otherwise you might get disappointed with the fish of a lifetime. Sean the Average Angler, if you have anything you want to see, let me know down below. I really appreciate you guys subscribing, liking the video, and commenting. Y'all have a great day. We'll see you on the next one.